Hello, my name is Ashley Skeen, and I did my creating project using the flipped classroom and LiveBinder. I chose those two because after I looked into them a little bit more, they were something that I would actually really use in the classroom, and I figured now would be the time to try it out before trying to implement it with a classroom. And this also goes along with my teaching methods. LiveBinder is all about organization, and so am I, so that was a very good fit there. And I sub a lot. I don't have my own classroom, and when I go into all of your classrooms, I see binders everywhere. And LiveBinder will eliminate that, and will give you more physical space because everything is done on the computer. By using the flipped classroom, I thought that would be a good idea because you won't get any more missing homework assignments, or I left it at home, or it got ruined, because all I have to do is watch a lesson. And the best part is both of these are free. Alright, my first lesson I used the flipped classroom, and this is where the teacher will videotape themselves doing a lesson without students, and then you just upload that to YouTube or any other place like that, and the students then go home and watch the lesson as their homework. They will come in the next day and do all the practicing with the teacher present and their classmates so that they can work with partners, or if they have a question they don't get quite so frustrated with it. And don't stay frustrated with it because the teacher is right there. Or usually if they do homework at home, they get frustrated, nobody's really there to help them. So I liked that idea. So for this I recorded myself doing a lesson on proving the Pythagorean theorem, and I recorded it, uploaded it to YouTube, and then I embedded it into my own website that I created so that you don't have all those advertisements on the outside and have to worry about student safety and everything. So here is my website, and then if I just wanted you to use the video lesson, there is another link for that. This is my website. I used Google to make it. I will never again use this. It was very difficult and it took a lot of time. I have links over here. Very hard to see, but I tried changing them. I have no idea how to change the color. Another reason why I would not use this again. But one of them says we flipped it. And if you go there, I just have a little blurb about what flipping the classroom means to parents who have no idea. I also have another link that says homework assignments, and here I have all of the week's assignments down. And I've got my video lesson, and then I have my objective for what, after the students are done watching the video, they know what they should be able to do at the end, so when they come into class, that is what it's expected of them. Oh, another reason for using that is because they can watch it over and over and over again, as many times as they want. Back to the PowerPoint. So the technology and resources involved were a computer, some kind of recording device. I used a flip. I used a whiteboard. You're going to need fast internet connection to upload videos and everything. I used YouTube, and then some website creator if you don't have one already, to safely embed your videos into your website. The students will just watch the lesson at home, and then the next day they'll come to school and they'll practice that skill with the teacher and partners present to help with support. Students can watch the videos as many times as they want. They can watch it in class, but hopefully that is not the first time, because they will just be wasting their practice time then. And they will be able to watch it on an iPad, a laptop, a computer, or their phone even. The advantages to doing the flipped classroom is they can learn at their own pace. If they don't get it, they can rewatch the video as many times as they need. Or if they get it and, instead of sitting there bored, they can move on and watch the next video and work on that one. everybody will be in the classroom when they're doing the practice, and somebody will be there to help them. You won't have to deal with behavior issues when doing your lesson. Usually when you're teaching your lesson, you have somebody over there making noises, or somebody talking to somebody else, or somebody doing something they're not supposed to, and then you have to deal with each of those, and that adds more time to your lesson, which then gets the students more distracted, and then they tune out after it takes too long. So the length of the lesson will be shorter. If the student is absent, they won't miss anything because they can watch the lesson from home. And then the teacher will get more time to work with the students who are struggling because they'll have that whole class period to do that instead of only the last few minutes of it. The disadvantages are that you need a device that will play YouTube videos. Not everybody will have a high-speed internet connection at home. Not everybody has computers. And there really is no way to tell if they really did their homework, except, just by their practicing and their test scores. Alright, my second lesson is on LiveBinder. And this is just basically an online binder. It has tabs, and you can set it up any way you want. I created a mathematics binder for this lesson, and my students will use this as a review or extra practice. And in this binder I have targets and objectives, there's other videos, there's more practice for them, and there's also games. And again, is on my website, or you can just go to the LiveBinder link. I do have the LiveBinder link over here, and with that I have a little blurb about what LiveBinder is, and this is actually my binder. I have a bunch of different tabs for the different categories of math that we will be learning, and then I have my overall targets for geometry here. So if we go to take a unit test, they know that this is exactly what they need to know for the test. And then down here it breaks it down even more. It's the same targets, just, this has to do with Pythagorean theorem. And here's an extra video if you need a little refresher. Here's another extra video here on this one, plus the objectives. They're not all videos, this one is just extra practice for them. And I noticed when I did this that you can't really see the whole thing. You'd have to scroll all the way down to then get to this scroll bar. But I did put a link down here, and that will display the binder full page, so you don't have to deal with that. And then I would have liked to have had you're only allowed to have 2 layers of tabs. And I would have liked to have broken it down even more, or added another media for each of these, but I ended up making an extras tab and just threw them in under there for extra things for them to do. We go back to the PowerPoint. The technology and resources involved. I'm using iPad or a computer, anything of that sort. You need high-speed internet connection, probably headphones because some of these are videos and you're going to have to be able to listen to them. And then Firefox works best with LiveBinder. For some reason, Internet Explorer doesn't work quite right with it. The students doing this LiveBinder lesson will be able to access my binder through my website or through the extra link on the bottom, and they would be given a handout with the objectives of what they need to know by the end of the unit. They will be given time in class to be shown how to use it. I have a model, how to go through it, and how I laid it out. And then they'll just read the articles, watch the videos, or do the practice questions that will correct their answers right then and there. The advantages are that students are more motivated when technology is involved, especially when there's some kind of games or videos to watch. You save paper because it's all online, and most students have phones that access the internet. They could do their homework or review while they're in a car going to any of the practices or any of their games that they have, extracurricular activities. All of the materials are in one place. They could even create their own binder, and they won't lose their items. Their items won't get eaten by their dog, and they can't be forgotten. The disadvantages: it won't really work that well if you have slow internet connection. Sometimes sites are down, sometimes videos are deleted over time, and not all students have internet access at home. Well, this is the end of my video, and I've enjoyed learning about each of these technologies, and I'm excited to eventually use them in my own classroom. And they are both free, so if you would like to look these up more, it's LiveBinder and Flipped Classroom. And you don't have to make your own LiveBinder. There are some that are already created. There's a couple really good ones, and there's like LiveBinders within LiveBinders, so it's very extensive, but it's very good. Thank you for listening to my project.